Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour live from the Real Talk Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I'm Matt Tsutsuti. Right on over here is the Dark Wing, Brian Daly.
What up?
Oh, and we have somebody to introduce you to later on in the show.
Oh, don't worry, I know about him.
Oh, yeah, you'll meet him. You'll meet him in person. But anyway, and we have a brand new host joining us here on the Hockey Happy Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Bush.
Yes, George W. Bush.
How you doing, Mr. President?
What's up, motherfuckers? I'm back!
Yeah! That's right. The one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the broken one, Mr. Rob Povia.
Wait. Hold on, time out. Somebody lied to me. Somebody said the president was going to be on with us tonight.
No, that's not who I wanted you to meet. That's somebody else completely.
Well, then the OG crew's back together, baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. Back together, and we are ready to rock it live right here on A2DRadio.com here from Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. Brought to you by Gibson Mayor LLC, your certified public accountants, located 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Taxes, they suck. But you know what the best part of it is? You get a nice little return in the mail at the end of every fiscal year. And if you ever feel like you got gypped, you can always be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayor, so that doesn't happen.
You know, you think it'd be the first time that I was back in this chair with that, tap on the mic. Sorry about that, Frank. First time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, first time, best time.
I had a little hat trouble there with
It's
the mask and everything. But, yeah, no, it's good to be back. And, I've guested a couple times and want to make a major announcement tonight on the show. This isn't the guest spot. I'm back.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The man is back.
And better than ever.
It was the plan the whole time, man. I had to get some things situated out and got things to align with work schedules now, with your guys' work schedule. And we're finally in line on Thursday nights and make this happen, man, during a glorious season of the Philadelphia Flyers right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
That
is what I'm talking about.
That's it.
That was terrible.
All right.
We're giddy. We're
Let's
giddy.
go.
Giddy
All
like
right.
a schoolgirl. Let's do it.
Well, I'll tell you who's not giddy. The Flyers. Yeah, unfortunately not. You know how sometimes in porn parodies they have schoolgirls in them, and sometimes they get spanked?
All the ones I watch.
Yeah, well, the Flyers got spanked for
30 seconds in, and I'm already uncomfortable. This is great.
That's what I do.
Welcome
But Brian,
home.
look who's
Welcome
producing.
Home, Brian.
Oh,
Welcome
no.
Now it's
home.
just as uncomfortable.
Oh, no. He's going to be praying over there all night.
Oh, no, I won't be praying.
Just think about a schoolgirl and you'll be happy. All right, so anyway, with that, the Flyers did suffer a nasty spanking at the hands of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Tell me the score again. I really still can't believe that this
7-1.
Oh my God, it's just. Damn. I would say that that's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to the Flyers against Pittsburgh, but I did watch the last time the Flyers were in the postseason. That was probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened between the Flyers and the Penguins. And, yeah, I don't want to experience that again.
Well, I mean, it's a little surprising, too, especially since Flyers, I believe, were 18-3-3 in that building, too. So it's kind of been the home away from home. But this is every year's a different story. And this is a different Penguins team. They've brought in some additions by trading Phil Kessel, and they look pretty damn dominant on Tuesday night.
And even despite the injuries that they've been going through with some of their bigger players, like Evgeny Malkin, who might actually face some jail time.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
Hey-o.
They've still been playing well, and it's courtesy of their captain, and who is honestly, seriously one of the greatest players in the world.
Yeah.
And he's showing why.
And before we continue that negativity, we do have some negativity that we should address. We should address the elephant in the room.
Hey, who you calling an elephant?
It's not nice to talk about
Frank
Frank like that.
He's
Yeah.
lost weight. What the fuck are you talking about? He's not an elephant. He's a gazelle.
I'm a beautiful gazelle.
Yes, just before the lion pounces. But anyway, so with that,
Or when I'm in Vegas, a cougar.
Heyo.
I
Hey!
see what you did there. Yeah, that's when.
Wait, isn't that a puma? Isn't it the opposite way? Isn't when a older guy goes after a younger girl? Isn't that a puma? Or am I thinking of something else?
I have
No,
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 idea.
no. It's the reverse because it's the older ladies
The older
that are coming
lady-
after Frank.
Yes.
So therefore, cougar going after young gazelle.
Yeah, see, when I go after the younger ladies, that's a puma.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
there we go. So now that we've cleared up that was the most important thing to address here. But no, actually, in all seriousness, the most important thing we have to address is, unfortunately, A2D is a fun thing that we've been doing for a while, and we did have two other gentlemen that were joining us on the air weekly, Dean Sensi and Mike Klinkoff. Klinkoff, of course, been around for, God, what has it been, like 2 years, 3 years, something like that?
Clink?
It's-
Oh,
Clinky's been here for 4.5
Remember
Yeah,
that
it's-
show
yeah,
that he was on
2.5.
before?
Oh,
He joined you?
Oh, and he's been with A2D
Yeah.
for quite some time. He
Are
was
you,
on-
now, are you talking Tom Arnone live, or are you talking Serini and Friends? Because
That
we
one.
could go way back. to
Serini and
Friends.
Serini and Friends, yes.
Wow.
in jokes. Anyway.
Yes.
And then on top of that, of course, he did do Fantasy Dominance now with the man right on over there,
Jeez,
Mr.
we're
Rob
really
Cole.
And
we're
myself.
hit,
And
really
you
hitting
and
all the old
myself.
shows.
Well, I forgot about your contributions. I apologize. It's not
I
the
mean,
first
they
time.
weren't very valuable, but yeah, they're still there.
Okay, anybody who used to watch Fantasy Dominance now, look at your bank account and then look at Brian, and then if you want to punch him, then you know that his advice was dead fucking wrong. But anyway,
Don't punch me. I don't know. I don't like it.
so
Don't tase me, bro.
but you don't even know. Anyway, so with that being said, though, unfortunately, Michael Klinkoff and Dean Sensi, they are no longer going to be available to do the show with us. It sucks that we have to say goodbye to them. I mean, yes, it is great that we got Rob back and everything, but we did want to address it because obviously somebody would probably have brought it up in the comments, at some point and be like, where's Mike and where's Dean? Just to let you guys know, yes, they are no longer affiliated with A2D Radio. But, Mikey will still be in the chat, and Dean will most likely be in the chat throwing some
Already
shit our
is.
way.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, I went away too for a little while.
Yeah.
Life is an ever-changing door, or revolving door, I should say. Ever-changing revolving door. Sometimes I talk well. Go ahead.
but George,
Yeah, don't worry. I do too.
I mean,
all the time.
doors do change. I mean, if you
Yes.
break one, you got to get a new one.
Yeah.
If you smash one out of rage because your team lost in a playoff series, I totally am not talking from personal experience. But
Been there.
sometimes you gotta change out a door every once in a blue moon. It's a shame we're not sponsored by someone who repairs fucking doors. But oh well.
Clinky goes, it wasn't Brian, it was Doug giving the bad fantasy advice.
That's a good one on
Wow.
Mikey's
Wow,
part.
okay.
Well done.
Trading jabs everywhere.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Wow.
What's the funny part is
wasn't at me, so I'm good.
And then coming
Right
soon,
now,
Doug
but-
comes back.
Yeah, right. He's gonna come back next week.
He comes back next week. You
Hey.
never know.
He's really not. At least not to my knowledge.
Maybe.
But anyway.
Maybe.
he comes back just
I'm not gonna create rumors before they're solidified.
Yeah,
This
we'll
is a
leave that alone.
non-speculation
Yeah.
show here.
Yeah.
We only spit facts.
We don't deal in rumor and innuendo, except when it comes to Malcolm possibly facing jail time. But anyway,
Yes,
I
yes.
mean,
Oh.
innuendo. We definitely do innuendo. We just don't do.
did you listen
rumors.
to the first 5
Yeah.
seconds of the show?
Exactly.
But anyway, everything that I would say right now is
Son
that
of a
even
bitch,
though
Brodo.
even though Clinky and Dean are not here, man, we wish them all the best of what they're
Seriously.
pursuing right now. Mikey's career is taking off right now, so good luck to him and all of that. Dean, he's doing things as well. Good luck to him and everything he's doing too. And you know what? You never know. Maybe one day they may just pop right on back in. You never know, like Rob said.
I didn't know Dean very well. I did the show with him that one time. Really nice guy. Love to have him. Great to have a Devils fan out the door, though. See ya! Sorry. I just hate the Devils beyond all.
But you know what? What's worse than kicking a Devils fan out of the door? It's not being able to rip them when their team blows ass
Truth.
right here. Because, man, the Devils suck right now. Such a
That is
shame.
the
And even
point.
with Jack Hughes, jeez. And PK Subban.
But you know what? I think that may be the reason why Dean's not here. I think it's ironic that the Devils blow ass and he's not here. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to deal in that rumor. But anyway, so
Going to dive into somebody's comments here real quick while they're
go
rolling
right
in
ahead.
hot.
We've already
Yes.
jumped the fucking rails on this one. Go right
Trevor
ahead.
Harris says, "What's up, fellas? Is that a Verona Coyotes jersey?"
It is. You want to know why? Because Jeremy Roenick is the fucking man. That's why.
I'll drink to that.
Just like so is Adam Henrique.
No, he's not because he was a devil. But anyway.
Not no more.
Yeah, but he was.
Clinky, who we were just talking about, says, "What's good, fellas? Hanging out in the chat with us."
Hey, Clinky, what's going on, man?
Michael Chromiak, our boy Chrome, says, "Y'all got a former president on the couch? AG coming strong."
Hell yeah, man.
Nah, man, we got better. We got Pove.
We do, man. Hey, man, you never know. 2020, hey, that election's right around the corner. I'm going to vote for Pove. I think somebody should. I'll write his name on that ballot. It's better than any of the other fucking choices.
Tom Bernone chiming in, hashtag old school.
Yeah.
Pove, let's go.
That's
and he goes on to
right.
say, "Guess who's back? Back again." David Roska says, "Hail to the Ducks." We're not hailing anything yet. This is wait till we get back into first place.
Hail Satan.
Are we
Miroslav Satan?
Yes, that's Satan.
All right.
Not that other Satan.
Not that other Satan.
Not the other
I just
Satan.
got to be sure.
I mean,
It's the hockey player
listen,
Satan.
Listen, I just because I saw a pentagram in the corner doesn't mean anything that Frank is worshiping something. So there you go.
Hail Satan.
By the way, happy Halloween.
Boo.
So happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
I had no trick or treaters, so I forgot it was Halloween. Trevor Harris says, "Hey, let's be honest. The season is still young," which very much is.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's just
Ton of time.
It's just I hate losing that way to those motherfuckers so much because it's like it happens all the fucking time. It's gone with the days where we used to have Fleury to fall back on. It was like, well, it's only a matter of time before Fleury lets in the first beach ball, and then we're going to win this motherfucker. You know, usually that's how this works. Not anymore.
Not when Anaheim plays Las Vegas.
Although when
We're not going to open up that can of worms.
to
right
be
now.
fair, though, even though Fleury wasn't in net for the Vegas Golden Knights, we still kicked their ass. So, hey, maybe it's the Knights. Maybe we're just good against them. I'll take that. Shows
We
that.
suck against them. I think we wound up losing 6-1, 6-2, something like that. It was bad.
And yet they'll get blown out by the
bad.
Flyers in Philadelphia.
Through the humor comes a great fact, though. I mean, different teams are going to match up that in worse or better fashion. So it's not a surprise that dominating some Western Conference teams here. All told, though, them playing in all the time zones, I don't want to make excuses, but do you think that has a little effect to why they all of a sudden went from this high-energy game to this low-energy game?
I think that had a problem with the Flyers in the beginning when they had to go on that West Canada trip.
Yeah.
Because they had only really had a chance to do one game at home, and then boom, they were right out on the road after coming back from Europe to play two games, one exhibition, the other one their first game of the regular season. I think that definitely had an effect on them. And then when they came back, they started playing much better. Yeah, they lost that game to Dallas. That one stung a little bit because that team couldn't even buy a win when they showed into Philadelphia. But it is what it is. You just take the good with the bad. It's still early in the season. Then they rebounded. They started looking good. They went on a 3-game win streak. I was like, all right. And then they ran right into the hottest team in the NHL in the fucking New York Islanders,
Yes,
of course. It's
man.
like, figures the schedule fucked us at the end of the day, but it is what it is.
They shot right up the power rankings today. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Freaking
I mean,
did,
no wonder
man.
it did happen. But I mean, even that trip to Chicago and Columbus, that made it 4 and 5 different time zones within the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. I mean, like I said, you got to rise above that. And I think when this team gets a little deeper, when you get hopefully Nolan Patrick back from the migraines, Scotty Lawton back into the lineup or whatnot, creates a little depth. You can sit some guys, keep that energy level.
They definitely got to figure out a way to get back on track and get a little more consistency. I mean, this is still a very young team. It's still a very new system to them. It's going to click eventually, but it just doesn't happen overnight.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And, I mean, here's the thing, too, with and there I swear to God, I saw somebody put something up on social media saying, oh, Hart, he isn't really doing all that well. Maybe he isn't what we thought he was. I'm like, Like, Jesus Christ. What? It's how fucking early into the goddamn season and you're jumping off of a fucking bridge again?
Well, it's not even that. It's a lot of the fan base wants instant gratification. They want things to happen and they want it now. Like I said earlier
I hate that about this fan base. I really
But that's like
do.
with every single fan base, though. We're just the best at doing that.
It's Negadelphia.
Yeah.
I hate that so much about this
Unless
fan
the Flyers
base.
go 82-0, then they're not going to ever stop pitching.
I hate
Doesn't matter
that.
what it
And
is.
you want to know why I hate it too? Because it's like they forget it's a fucking 82-game season. It's the same thing with the Sixers. The fucking world must end if Joel Embiid doesn't put up 80 fucking points a night, you know, and you know, or Ben Simmons misses a fucking free throw. And yes, I actually got Sixers names right. But on top of that,
You did it.
Golf clap.
Golf clap.
thank you. It's nice to be appreciated for once.
Oh, I missed that.
For once, I'm appreciated around here.
I missed that.
Unlike, you know, when certain people are on the show, Brian. But
What'd I do?
know,
What'd I do?
You know what you did.
I always do it. It's always
Listen,
my fault.
Proto's not
Look
here,
what
so
you
I have to
did.
give you shit.
Oh, never mind. I'm going to keep that one to myself.
Did he give you actual shit?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was just wondering.
Ew.
It was right.
I mean, I legitimately wouldn't put it past him. I legitimately think I could see Ryan totally doing the whole shitting in the bag, setting it on fire, and leaving it on your front porch. I could totally see that happening.
Don't stop it out with your boots, Ted. But jumping back to Hart real quick, I think a lot of his issue is he's not squaring up to shooters enough or good enough. Instead of, you know, squaring up and having the pucks hit him right in the chest, he's squaring up and he's just off. And in order for him to fix that and get back to where he was, he's got to play. The coaches got to remain confident in him, and they have to keep putting him out here so he can keep working on it, and he's got to remain confident in himself.
And here's my big issue with how they've been handling this. And I'm not saying Elliott is a bad goalie. I'm not. Want that to be yes, I've called him an old fart on multiple occasions, but no, I am not saying Elliott's a bad goalie. But Hart is supposed to be our starter. That is the goal.
Yeah.
You got to keep putting him out there.
Yes.
Let him work it out.
My biggest problem is that games that we probably should have started him in, we didn't start him in. Like against Columbus. Like, yeah, that game was fucking back and forth and everything. That was more on defensive errors and judgment than necessarily anything else. And the one bad angle goal, the Flyers got 1-2. Point is that game was a great win. How awesome would it have been? It would have made it that much sweeter if Hart had gotten that win. Or you have him start in Chicago against the Blackhawks, a team that's been struggling. Elliott started both games. No, we don't put Hart in those games. We put Hart up against the hottest team in the NHL and the Islanders. And I'm not saying you should go soft on your rookies, but I'm saying it's just like, if you want to get the kid back in on an easy game, that was not the move to do right there.
You know, you do have a good point. Yeah, you do have a good point there. He was struggling, but I don't think it was his sophomore slump that was the reason why he wasn't in that. I think Elliott was playing that damn good. I mean, did you see the stats he was putting up? You know, 960, 965 save percentage. You know, unbelievable. He was just on a nice roll, and I think the coaching staff just wanted to kind of ride it out. That's why you were seeing regular starts for Moose. Not so much just because Hart was struggling. Because, yes, did he struggle? Was he not squaring up shooters? Yes. Did he also get his first shutout of his career this season, in this young season already? Right? Has he made some fantastic saves? Problem is he's not making the saves that he should be making. Just sophomore slumps. Yeah, I've read comments online saying, "Oh, he's not ready. Send him down to AHL." You know, things that you're saying, what you guys were referencing to, that he wasn't, you know, overreacting, wanting that instant gratification. Sophomore slump, people. It happens. It happens in every sport. You can't expect him to be lights out every game. I think that'll eventually happen, but not at this point in his career.
Two names come to mind when you think sophomore slumps who's turned it around and wound up having great careers because of it. Patrick Waugh is one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Carey Price is another.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And ironically, Hart reminds me of both of those gentlemen in his play, too.
Yeah, and then
especially
believe me,
Carey
that's
Price.
great. He's 20 years old. He's 20.
I know.
Jonathan Gibson went through growing pains in 2021, and now look at him. He's one of the top goalies in the league.
One thing you can't blame
Andre
it on.
Vasilevsky.
You can't blame it on the jersey, though. I bought this before he had the shutout, so the shutout happened too. Usually I am the mush. You usually got to throw me in the bathroom, but not on this one.
It was the same thing with Chrome, because every time Chrome would go to an actual game, the Flyers would lose. So it's just like, Really, Chrome? You had to go. We needed that
You
fucking
son
2
of a
points.
bitch.
Thank you so very much.
I'm gonna.
I
jump
didn't
back
say
in,
it to him. I didn't want to be a dick at that moment, but
Oh, I
it's,
would've busted his balls.
It's like
Come on.
I was being polite. Listen, I'm on his show. He can throw me off at any time. The last thing I want to do is be out at the wrestling show. Christ, Jesus.
All right,
Go
jump back into some of these comments real quick. Brian Wilson says, "What's up, boys? Have a great show."
Wilson.
Trevor says, "Jail time. Does the Penguins have a Russian hooker problem?"
No, but apparently a Bitcoin problem. Apparently is what Evgeny got caught himself. He got caught into like some kind of Ponzi scheme or something with cryptocurrency or some shit like that.
It's cryptocurrency.
I was like, damn, Malkin, what the? You really couldn't just do what Yager does? Gamble away his money and sleep with 18-year-old Czech hookers. I mean, models. Correct myself. Yager has standards.
Yes.
But it's
it's not very. It's not a lot.
It's
but
a slight. It's about one rung up from the hooker. One rung. Actually, 2, because the escort service is the one rung up from the hooker. But anyway, go ahead.
We got Ryan Bretto. We're taking a trip in the A2D time machine.
We are.
We did.
Well, then
We're back. All right, good. We're
Well,
back.
we fucked that up because we should have worn fucking Marty McFly and fucking Doc fucking outfits. Damn, we fucked this up.
It's all right. According to Ryan Bretto, something's my fault. It's always my fault, Bretto.
All right, then it is your
Son
fault.
of a bitch. I mean, Michael
Wait.
Klinkoff, when we were giving our little, son of a bitch.
All right, on time there, Mr. Vespi. Thank you very much.
Son of a bitch. Damn it. I thought I was getting a week off.
Nope.
Mike
you
Klinkoff
weren't.
says, thanks, guys, for that. I honestly love you guys, and it's been some of the best years of my life working with you boys. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'll still be hanging around in the chat.
Oh, hell yeah, man. And like we said, man, hey, anytime you feel like you want to jump in on a guest spot, dude, you are more than welcome to have the wobbly chair. So there you go.
And he can have Limpy, the microphone.
Ryan must have heard me. He said, watch your tone, Mr. Daly.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Exactly.
And to think Brodo's not in the studio today.
Well, like I said, I was hoping to get away from that, but apparently I'm not. But that's fine. It's all good.
What did we call him again? I forget what the hell we named that duck.
I don't know, but the Eagle was Big Brian wherever he is.
Oh, don't worry. You're going to meet
on
him
the
in
fix,
person.
he's named Petey.
He's named Petey?
He's
the
named
duck?
Petey on. He's named Petey on the fix.
So Petey the duck?
No, Petey the eagle.
Oh.
Not the duck. The eagle.
No. He's Big Brian. This is Little Brian. But
I
anyway.
don't know how. I'm like 6.5 feet bigger than he is.
We
But
weren't
anyway.
referencing that. Go ahead.
Oh my!
Hey now.
Welcome back.
Hey now!
It was too easy. Go ahead.
Trevor Harris says, and the Devils are back to being a Mickey Mouse franchise.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Yay.
DEV.
All they got to do is go get those disgusting-looking green and red fucking jerseys, and we got
Bring
it
back
all
the
taken
Christmas
care of.
sweaters.
Except Simmer. I don't mind watching him score, get into a fight. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
As long
Get
as
them
it
off
ain't
the
against
ice.
the Flyers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it gets the Rangers, all right.
Even if it's against the Flyers. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, to be fair, I can't get too mad at them getting Simmons because I'm like, God, we traded him at the perfect fucking time to trade him.
Yeah, no, it certainly did. But this is going back a few weeks, and you probably have talked about this on the show. But it was great what he said when he was asked, like, do you expect the fans to boo him his first time in Philadelphia? And he goes, he'd be mad at him if they didn't boo. That's just a great answer. He's a great guy. It's a shame that you got to trade depreciating talent. But just a great man to have on your team.
A guy a locker room guy like he is. He's a guy who's going to get loud and get you going. And
Yeah.
it's one of the things I respected about him. But going back to even before you left the show originally, like I was never a fan of who he was. Like just the way he was. Like I get it, he's a power forward and he's gonna score goals the way he does. But
what I love, what I find hilarious too, is that you were just like, he's not really going to be your main contributor in offense, and he made you eat shit almost every year because he was one of the top scorers on the team.
yeah, he wound up getting like 30, 35 goals. Shut up, Matt.
I'm sorry.
Shut up.
You set yourself up for it. And what
Shut
can
up.
I do? You're making it too easy.
David
Like,
Raska,
literally.
keep playing NHL 19 or 20, whichever year we're on to, because Taylor Hall's not coming to Anaheim.
I would love for him to go to Anaheim, so that way he's not a Devil
I would like
anymore.
it, but It ain't happening.
Like I said, man, if this is a consolation prize for all the shit I've been talking to you today, I would like to see him in a Ducks jersey, so that way he wouldn't be a Devil anymore.
He would be my next Ducks jersey, I'll tell you that.
Hey, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you at all.
Trevor Harris says, when the Flyers get Nolan Patrick and Scotty Lawton back, they're going to have 4 great lines with depth.
Yes, you are right. And that is true. Lawton, that's a tough one to lose because Lawton is a very good bottom 6 guy. And people don't really talk about Lawton now that much. He is very much an unsung hero in the orange and black. He does a lot of the things you don't realize right. And he is usually trying to create scoring chances. And sometimes he takes those chances. It's a shame they don't always go his way. I mean, that poor guy, every time he gets a great shot, someone stops it. I'm like, Christ, man, this poor guy, he never scores a goal, and he should. Like, almost half the games he takes shots in. But, oh, well.
Speaking of shots, there's a couple shots here. Stephanie Hoover chimes in saying, new coach, new system, young kids that are coming up, shut up. Put me on the show. People will legit shut the fuck up.
Hey, the
Love
chair
it.
is,
The chair is
right
open.
here.
Love it.
And we would welcome you with open arms, Steph.
She also says Moose isn't the answer. And real quick, I want to jump into this with Brodo because he said, wait, I left for a sec? What exactly did I set on fire?
Yes.
Set the world on fire, Brodo. That's what you did.
Yeah. Bomb chicka
Psych.
bomb bomb.
Psych.
Did you just say psych?
Did you
lit
say
my
psych?
Yes, I did.
We activated the time
1990
machine. It's working again.
Right, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Psycho mine.
It's fucking boss, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
Not.
boss.
Anyway, go ahead.
Damian Price, our boy from Australia, saying, "Let's go Ducks." Right
Hey,
on.
What's going on, man? How's it going on over there back in that Aussie? Hopefully it's going on with some nice little weather down there, I would hope.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Trevor says they should have had Elliott playing multiple games in a row. Hart needs to get net more and get more experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so glad he brought us back to that because that was the point I didn't get to is that I understand why they're rolling with Moose because he's so hot, but that's detrimental to Hart. And you're going to give playing time to a veteran and not, your rookie or your second-year goaltender. It didn't make a lot of sense. I understand why they were doing it, but, are wins that important at this stage of the game? I mean, every point counts, but come on now.
Now, remember what I used to say all the time. Goalies are the divas of the NHL. They're like pitchers in baseball. They're like quarterbacks in the NFL, especially when you're talking about Tom Brady. And on top of it, what?
Nothing.
What?
No,
Wait,
you're good.
oh, I thought you were gonna say, man. I thought he should have said Carson Wentz. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Listen,
It
say what you want.
Too easy.
Say what you want.
It was
Brady's
too
the goat.
easy.
He's the goat.
Yeah, but anyway, but a diva nonetheless. And it's like those. Who would you say are the divas in the NBA? See, I don't remember everything about the NBA.
Nowadays, guys like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant.
Like position wise.
I don't know.
Cat. I hear he likes to choke sometimes. He likes to get choked out.
Hey, he likes to tap out too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But
that was pretty funny.
But nonetheless, though, with goalies in the league, you have to be careful with their confidence, especially a young goalie. It's like if you're a vet and you have confidence issues, I'm like, I don't know what to fucking tell you, dude. Fucking get good. That's all I can fucking tell you at the end of the day. But when it comes to a guy like Hart, it's more of a listen. You got to take him to the side and you got to say, listen, it's not your fault. Shit happens. You're gonna have bad games. Yes. Do you need to correct a few things? Of course you do. But everybody out there does. Because guess what? Half of the goals that go in aren't his fault. A lot of times it's the defense's fault for not getting the fucking puck out of the zone.
I mean, there have been, like we covered before, not being square to the shooter, a couple easy goals being let in there. But a lot of them you couldn't even blame on them or whatnot. And we're talking such a small sample size.
Yeah.
People, stop flipping the fuck out. It's a
Yeah.
long season. Come on. I mean, but the thing of it is we do need to get steady play. I do agree
Yes.
with that.
He does definitely
Kind
need
of
steady play.
flip-flopped a little bit there, but I agree with that.
So, I missed one show, and I missed so much. Ryan Broda just sent me a message.
Oh, my.
Is it a voice message like he did the 1 week?
No.
Okay.
That was funny, though. He
Yeah.
threatened my life in that.
Yeah,
He did.
he did.
He did. He almost called a hit on you.
He
Yeah.
said the Duck's name is Dr. Stephen H. Reginald McSwimmerstein III.
Wait,
I'm
what's
not going
the
to
name?
remember that.
Wait, what's the name?
Swimmerstein.
Dr. Stephen H. Reginald McSwimmerstein III.
Oh. So
Apparently he's rich.
He sounds rich.
Apparently, he's very rich.
He's a wealthy duck.
McSwimmerstein? Oh, my.
He must have like 4 or 5 ponds. And, he must live in a
Oh,
mansion
my.
that's
Oh.
completely made of
now I get
weeds
it.
Or, he must live in like a giant duck mansion where, you have giant duck pictures of your family and your little ducklings just hanging around there and a giant fireplace just sitting right there. He's got a wine glass in his wing.
It's got some duck pics right there.
Yeah, he's got some duck pics.
Duck pics. Woo.
I don't want to know what Frank watches in his spare time.
DuckTales.
And,
Woo.
Anyway. Steph agrees with you. She said he wasn't in that because Moose was winning at the time, which is very true. Trevor says 21 years old, give the kid a break. Can't agree with that anymore.
Yeah.
He's got to get him. You got to keep putting him out there. Keep rolling him. It's the only way he's going to work out the kinks. Trevor says divas are mostly the whiteouts. I think Antonio Brown is example number 1 of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Divas in the NBA, LeBron, Steph, KD, Kat. Just, going forward from there.
All right.
And Steph also says, oh, my God, some of you are saying Hart. Oh, excuse me. Shouldn't get to start. Sit down.
There are plenty of people who are, like, panicking over this shit, which is amazing. But, it's terrible.
The kid's going to be good.
So,
Stephanie, you
keep
tell
him
me
out
who's
there.
talking this shit. I'll go to their house. I will talk with them.
I'll go out
Simmer
and
the
talk
fuck
with him.
down, people.
Seriously.
Frankie says relax.
Don't
I
do
see
it.
what you did there. I got that reference. 3 weeks ago, I probably wouldn't have gotten that reference, though.
Yeah. It's okay.
It was a friend's reference.
Wait, what's the Friends reference from a couple weeks ago?
He's got those shirt that says Frankie says relax.
Yeah.
I started watching Friends like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
back when we
Makes
had
sense now?
back in the old
Okay.
studio.
I know the episode now.
Back in
Okay.
the old studio.
Yeah, it was
actually,
one when Ross and Rachel finally broke up for the first time.
Oh, before they went on a break. Got it.
No, it was after they went on a break.
I know. Oh, it was after they went on a break.
Yeah, they officially broke up at that point.
Oh. They did
Oh,
something.
my God. I know way too much of that show right now.
Pivot. 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 Pivot.
That's one of
Pivot.
Yeah.
Shut up, shut up, shut up.
What? Why?
Why?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. I can't with that show. I'm sorry.
It's funny. What, are you like binge watching it for the first time or something?
It's a habit now. There's nothing
Dude.
good on TV.
No,
so
I
watch
understand that. I know, the reason why I asked is that sometimes in the background at work I watch Cheers on Netflix.
Hey,
it's
I'd
sort of the
rather
same
watch
premise.
Cheers. I would rather watch Cheers than Friends.
No, but you know what the funny part is that completely sailed over your head, Brian. He was calling you young,
Who was?
Rob,
When?
Yeah.
when he was saying that you were binge watching Friends for the first time.
Yeah.
34. I should have been watching Friends.
Well, no. My point was that he was saying you were binge watching it for the first time, so he was saying you were younger than you are.
No,
I wouldn't go quite that far.
I wasn't taking it that far. No.
What?
No.
I had to get that reference in there somehow.
Yes.
No. It's good to have somebody closer to my age on the show again. Makes me feel better.
How happy are you?
I'm very.
I hope
Makes
you
me
are.
feel good about myself.
He's old.
I hope you are.
You shut up over there.
I hope you are, because this was all a Halloween prank. Rob is actually just guest spotting today. Welcome, and Mikey and Dean are coming back next week,
That's
and
a
you
lie.
go back to being the old guy on
now,
the show.
now that will be one elaborate ruse right there.
That would be. I'm not
wait
happy
till
about
wait
that.
till like Ashton Kutcher comes in and is like, "You just got punked."
Dude, that would be great. Punked,
Oh.
A2D edition. Remember when that was a thing?
That put me through hell yesterday. I swear. It really ruined my day. I'm just saying.
Oh, I got a message from Ryan.
Oh no.
He's not happy with you guys about the Ducks name
Why?
because it's Stefan, not Steven.
He spells it Steven.
Yeah, it's Stefan. And he says, and he also says hashtag I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
I think Brodo's mad at you.
He's always mad at me.
Yeah.
He's
You guys
something.
need to make it up.
Brodo, you got to come out with those feelings, man. You can't
Nah,
keep
man.
them inside.
Feelings.
Dude, when you repress your feelings,
Nothing more than
when you repress your feelings,
feelings.
bad things happen in life.
Trying to forget my
He's a hater for a reason.
feelings of.
He is.
He muted himself.
Thank God.
Teardrops
All right, let's get back to hockey.
pouring
Yeah.
down
Oh,
on
shit. That's right. We talk about that on this show.
Once in a
All
while.
Wait,
right,
we're a
so
hockey-
Anyway.
Once in
your
a while.
hockey show.
I feel a couple hundred Canadians going, are these hosers going to talk about hockey or what?
They're wrong. They should have called us Yankees because this is a little bit south of that border there.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
all right.
Hey, that won't stop him from
Oh
call-
no! What
that
are
won't
those
stop.
Yankees doing?
Would you like a voice text? Yes. Yeah, send me a voice text there, Brodo.
You just like to punish yourself. But anyway, all
I'm
right.
a glutton for punishment,
Hey,
I'm
it's a
told.
good thing.
Okay, so with that being said, yes, we go back to hockey finally, and we talked about the Flyers and
Only
the
40
and the
minutes in.
beatdown. We were talking about Carter Hart and the frustration level that's on high with some of the fan base. I will call those the people that throw Ed Snyder bands into the rink part of the fan base, the fraudulent part of the fan base, and they're panicking about Hart. Fuck you guys. Calm the fuck down. It's too early in the season to panic.
I like to call them fair weather fans. They
Yeah.
know enough of the sport, but they don't know a lot of it.
So
They know enough that they can understand and watch it, but they don't watch it religiously enough to really understand player development.
So they're a step above Kyle, is what you're saying.
Hey-o. Does anybody like that guy?
I was just saying. I mean, come on. Someone has to keep getting those digs in. We have to do it.
Even Maddie trashing the motherfucker. I love it.
And I never met the man.
I
so
love
there
no,
you
no,
go.
no, no, no. I love it. I do.
I love it too.
So, with that being said,
Always told me I never knew what I was talking about, but that's
ga-
fine.
Some people need something to complain about too. That the team can never be perfect enough. And most of all, that's good, bad. That's fair weather. But some of that's, I like where they're going. Like, never aspire for mediocrity. You know what I mean? Keep asking for more, but don't question a second-year goaltender.
Seriously.
That's. I mean, that's the same people that are saying Foles should start over Wentz when they're both on an Eagle. You know what I mean? Like you know, I mean, it
Ew.
just unknowledgeable. But what are you gonna do?
Sorry, Pove.
No, hey.
David Roska trying to say, Ryan Brodo, please get a stink face by Serena.
Hey now.
are we talking?
Hey now.
Serena
Williams, probably. That's what I would assume.
I mean, did she just
Um,
have a kid?
I don't know.
Serena.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna look
But
up
I
a
don't know.
bunch
I don't
of different
follow
Serenas.
fucking tennis.
But Trevor's
What do
with
I
you.
know?
Trevor's with you.
Okay.
Tell me that's a new like AEW female wrestler.
I
That'd
don't.
be a lot better.
I have no idea.
Nope.
Let's see.
No, but
Famous
he's quoting
Serena.
Booker T now.
Let's see.
Brodo said, tell me he did not. Just say that.
Well, there's an actress named Serena.
But Trevor agrees with you.
King Booker. Anyway, go ahead.
He likes fraudulent fans for the Flyer fans that throw bracelets on the ice.
Yep.
I like to call them fair weather.
I call them fuck you fans. You want to know why? Because this is what they get every fucking time. Fan base is better off without you. Just saying.
Listen, if you can defend what you say, that's one thing. But if I see you in a group and you say something asinine, I'm going to challenge you. And if you don't have a reason for it, I'm going to call you a fair weather fan.
Pretty much.
It doesn't matter who you root for. I'm in a lot of different groups, and I argue with a lot of different fan bases.
The basic point is there's a line between knowledgeable fans and idiot fans, bullshit fans, because they bullshit.
And you
They-
know them right away too.
Yeah, you know them right away. Like, I could try and comment about the Eagles season and how it's garbage right now. That would be bullshit because the season is still pretty much young for the football world. That's total bullshit. I don't follow football. I would be a bullshit Eagles fan if that was the case.
I'm a bullshit Sixers fan.
So
I'll
there
come
you
out
go.
in a minute.
That
Oh,
is
you
the
too? Yeah.
definition.
Nice to meet you.
That is the definition of a bullshit fan. And if you know who you are, so suck it. But anyway, on to the preview for the next game coming up for the Flyers. And unfortunately, we got to face the fucking Devils. Now, I know I should be ecstatic about that because the
Is that really
Devils.
unfortunate?
Here's the problem. It's the Devils. And here's the problem. If you are an experienced Flyers fan, you never, ever guarantee victory against the New Jersey Devils. You want to know why? Because even if they were 0 and whatever the fuck right now, their first motherfucking win would come against the goddamn Flyers. It's the truth. It's the goddamn truth.
Sabres too. Same breath.
Oh, don't get me started on them.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all right. We can't even beat the fucking Knights. God damn, I think we
See,
got one win against them.
I said this a long time ago. They're the New Jersey Devils of the West. No one wanted the Devils here, but for some fucking reason they could beat the Flyers, they could beat the Rangers. I'm like, what the fuck? No one wanted you guys here. Fuck off. Seriously.
They're succeeding. They're playing very well. So I'm happy they're there, but God, it's annoying that we can't beat them.
I wonder if
We just got smoked by them too.
you think Seattle's going to be the same way?
God,
when they
I hope
come into
not.
the league in like a couple of years. Have they even decided on a name yet for the team?
No, all that stuff is probably going to happen over the summer.
Well,
okay.
here's one rumor that I heard. Mythical Beast.
The Seattle Mythical Beasts.
No, that's
Never
the,
heard of
that's the
that
hint.
name.
That's
Oh,
the
that's
hint.
the hint.
That's
Oh,
the hint.
Kraken.
Yeah, that's what it's
Oh.
leaning towards. It's going to be Kraken.
They should have gone with Mythical Beast.
I
It's
don't
quite
mind.
original.
I don't mind Kraken.
I don't mind Kraken either.
I mean, it's a cool mythological
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah, I was hoping like totems or.
I don't know.
No, I wasn't gonna go with totems. I would
See,
have.
I like
I would have been okay
totem.
with seals. I would have been okay with Kraken. Kraken was my number one.
I
But we'll find all that stuff out over the summer.
Metros. I hope to see
Watch them
them
call
do
that.
that.
Metros would be a good one
Yeah.
too.
Watch it. They're just going to call themselves the Seahawks.
Yeah, Trevor points out too that this is the first back-to-back too. With the Devils and Leafs, Friday and Saturday. So
Actually, no, it's not.
It's not?
It was Columbus and the Islanders.
That's right.
That was the
yeah,
first back-to-back.
right.
But
They didn't handle that too well on the back end.
no,
No.
they did not. But it's not really their fault because you're facing the hottest team in the
Yeah,
league.
buzzsaw,
It's just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all right, good luck. Have fun with that ass. Have fun with that, shitheads. You can't beat Blue Jackets. Barely beat the Blue Jackets. Have fun with the Islanders. But on to this game with the Devils here. This should be a win for the Flyers, and the key word is should be, and I would want to see Hart start. I don't want to see on freaking NHL starting that Elliott's back in goal. I'm going to be real fucking mad if I see Elliott starting again.
And you should be at this point too, because I think Elliott was taking advantage last game enough to where you could be like, okay, we rode his hot streak for a little bit, squeezed him for what he's worth. I questioned why they would keep him over Talbot in terms of, being a backup to Hart, and we see why that he can step in and take the starter's role if Hart is scuffling a little bit. So he did that. Now it's time. Let him work through the growing pains of a season. Let's go.
Yeah. And I'll say this right now. You haven't seen a Matty rant yet, but let me tell you right the fuck now. If Hart doesn't start come tomorrow, and he doesn't start for the primary portion of this week, come next fucking Thursday, I'm going to fucking rant big time on this fucking team because it's like Hart is our starter, Elliott is our backup. Yes, it's fine if he's having a hot streak and you want to get a couple of points into the standings, but you have to start Hart. Enough is enough. I don't give a shit about Elliott. He's not going to be here in a couple of years.
I agree. Although I will say this, you're not going to see him starting to back.
No. He's not going to start both
so
games.
You're going to see Hart in one of the two games. I'd like to see him in the Devils.
Yes.
And let Elliott play against the
Leafs.
Canadian All-Star team up there. And
That is disguised as the Maple Leafs.
and then after that, you just run with Hart. Let him get his confidence back. Let him work out the kinks. Let him get back to
Yeah.
squaring up
So-
shooters and
Well, let me
being
take-
confident in his own game.
Let me take a look. Let me take a gander here of what the Flyers have on the schedule coming up here. The Flyers have a Tuesday night game the following week against Carolina. That's going to be a tough one.
Chia Pet night.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's right. That is the Chia Pet
Let's
night
go.
for Gritty. Ooh, gentlemen. We actually, if we can get this to work
Ooh,
on
yeah.
Chrome, if we could flip the shows, we could react to Montreal because the Flyers in Montreal are playing at around 7 on that particular evening on Thursday. So we might want to look into that. Chrome, if you are still listening, the offer is on the table. I will text you about it later. If you deny me, I will boycott you.
I will boycott my own show.
I will. But
Thou shalt not deny me.
never question me or I cut you.
Oh my God.
And
Trying to kill me over here.
we almost had another spill from Brian.
Oh,
God,
no.
no, it wouldn't have been a spill. It would have been a spit take. Would have been everywhere.
And it would have been all over your fucking thing. Oh, that would have been great.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's storable.
Yeah.
Is it?
And
Oh,
somewhere
okay.
in that bit, there was a dirty joke waiting to happen.
I could tell by the look on your face.
I was going to
Don't
say
worry.
that's what she said, but you were expecting it from me. if you've ever seen me on air before.
It could have
Rob,
been for
hey,
me either.
Rob,
or
remember-
I could have said
Rob.
in the comments that it might have been involved with praying.
Rob, remember, my man, some people don't know on the show.
Oh, right.
Re-educate the fans.
Yes.
Remind
Yes.
them who the broken one is.
Yes.
Remind them.
Stephanie Hoover says, I'll lose my shit if we lose to the Devils.
Yeah. Agreed.
I would too, to be completely honest with you.
We could
And-
be 81-0 and playing the Devils that last game, and they lose. I'd be fucking losing my shit. I'm right with you.
absolutely.
Right with you,
I'd
Stephanie.
be breaking
Son of a
furniture.
bitch!
I'd be breaking furniture. Be like, I don't give a shit if we're in the playoffs and those motherfuckers are last. We should have beat them every goddamn game.
Yeah.
Fuck those motherfuckers.
Beat him up in the rage room.
Agreed.
Yes.
Trevor
the rage
Harris.
room.
I have PTSD from Martin Brodeur.
I think I
He
do
was so
too.
good, though.
And even though I actually
Yeah.
watched
Oh,
them
yeah.
beat them a couple of times, I still have PTSD
Listen,
from fucking
I
Brodeur.
loved the fact that I got to grow up watching him play.
Yeah.
That makes
yeah.
it great.
I am not. I am absolutely not. He couldn't have waited. He couldn't have showed up in the 80s when the Devils were still wearing those green and fucking red jerseys. When
The Christmas sweater.
At least then, there was a good chance they would have gotten eliminated by the Rangers because the Rangers still would have been the better team back then. So it's okay, we would have never had to deal with
I
it.
do like those jerseys, though. But anyway,
anyway,
Trevor
go
Harris
ahead.
says, I know the weekend they have, or the weekend after they have another back-to-back with the Isles and the Bruins. So I think that's 2 weeks from now.
Again, man, he's just picking up what I'm putting down. That's what I'm saying, that you're going to start seeing more the schedule build up now because it was so, sparse in the beginning.
Yep.
They're
They're going to play catch-up.
Yeah, playing the global series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to finish out the week, the Flyers will go to Toronto on the 9th, and they will face Toronto in Toronto.
Oh, same again. Okay.
Yeah, so that's interesting. 2 straight Saturdays, and we play Toronto. That's interesting.
Right.
That's not bad. I mean, you're going to face him probably, 2 or 3 times? So you're going to get him out of the way.
At most, I would say 3, because I think we faced division opponents 4 times during the year.
Yeah,
So,
and then you get 2 for West Coast. So
yeah,
you're going to get them done and out of the way early, so that's not necessarily a bad thing.
yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. So, with all that put into the bag there, I wanted to ask you guys, now that we're about 10 games in, who has been the biggest surprise to you guys during this beginning of the season? Since we're about 10 games in, yeah, it's still very early, but 10 games in, we kind of...
Excuse you.
We're kind of seeing a little bit more...
Was the laptop relax?
Was it?
It was.
But anyway,
Allegedly.
we're starting to see a little bit more permanency in the standings. What has been the biggest surprise, and what's been the biggest disappointment for you guys?
I'll speak within the Flyers because, like I told you
Okay.
before, that I haven't broadened my. I'm gonna do more research, guys. I'll come more prepared in following weeks. But my biggest surprise on the Flyers has been Kevin Hayes. I mean, I thought we were getting a good player, and we've got a fucking great player. Great size, great speed. Good on the rush. Good on coming back and playing 2 ways. Good on the penalty kill. He's just everywhere. He's showing that he could be a future captain in this league the way he's playing right now.
Oh, yeah, he's taking guys under his wings. I went up to training camp a few weeks ago with I met Greg up there, and he was hanging out with a couple of the young guys right after training camp for at least a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Talking to one of the guys and then showing him what he was talking about, and then going from there to having just some fun with Travis Konechny on the ice and Travis Denheim, just shooting the puck around, playing
Nice.
games.
Nice.
So, he's interacting with these guys. He's going to be a great leader for this team.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, in terms of the biggest surprises, and I actually saw an article that says maybe Kevin Hayes is underpaid for his job.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
So far, maybe.
So far, maybe. But remember, that's a long fucking contract. Hold on. But anyway, it's on the same level as the equivalent of a Bryce Harper contract in the NHL. So let's just put that into perspective.
Let's leave Bryce Harper out of this.
What? I didn't say anything
Let's
negative.
leave Bryce Harper out of this. I'm
Are-
just saying.
Are you sounding? You're sounding kind of bitter right now. Am I
I'm
sensing
not bit-
bitterness
A
from
little
you?
bit because everybody's dragging on Bryce Harper. Leave him alone. He had a great
I'm
season
not
this
saying
year.
anything negative about him.
Just leave him alone.
I'm just saying his contract length. It's just facts. That's all I'm putting out there. Jesus Christ, get on my goddamn back.
I tried to give him a call the other day, but there was no ring. I didn't make that up. I read that online.
So in case no one knows, Rob is not a Phillies fan. He is a Mets fan.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a fraudulent.
I mean, are you? Because you live in that region that would understandably be Mets fans. Now, when we're talking football,
I
that's
think
a
you
different
killed
story
I think you killed
altogether.
Stephanie. Matt, I
What?
think you killed Stephanie. She said 330 million versus this. She's dead. You better resuscitate her.
Okay, so
Please.
I'll handle that.
Steph, I
Okay.
was only saying it as an equivalent. I wasn't saying it was the exact same numbers and figures.
Well, I mean, thus far, like, as far as, like, if we're going to compare the two, the contracts, I mean, Bryce Harper wasn't as productive as early as Kevin Hayes has been thus far. But as the season went on, Bryce got more and more production. He got better as the year went on. Listen, if Kevin Hayes goes on to continue to play the way he does in the next, 70 games, he's going to be well worth the money that he's getting.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I was just saying lengthwise, salary-wise, it's the equivalent of something like that in baseball. It's a big, gigantic contract that totally which would kill other teams if the person doesn't perform up to that contract standard. It has nothing to do with play or production or, comparing the actual numbers. It has nothing to do with that. But anyway.
A couple of comments here on YouTube. Tom Arnaud saying, kicking it old school up in here. I just want to get to the dance as far as our playoff talk. I want to get there. I want to see him get there, too.
They'll get there.
I'm not sure who I was getting, but Tom says, get in, Bry. I wish I knew what he was talking about. David Roska says Anaheim will be ready for tomorrow night against Vancouver. I'm sure as hell hope so. Vancouver's been one of my surprises this year. And actually, a bigger surprise would be Edmonton, but we'll get into that in a second. David Roska saying, yes, Anaheim Ducks will get Hall. No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
No, they won't.
They'll just trade Gibson and get him.
Damn your black heart.
Oh, God. Listen, I would love Taylor Hall, but I like what we have now. And
Rob?
in order to, you're going to have to give up a lot to get a rental.
I see what you did there, by the way.
Now that's appropriate.
I totally see what you just did
What
there,
did
Rob.
you do?
Did you that went over your head? Curse
I
your
didn't hear.
curse your black heart.
Oh, I get it.
Do you see what jerseys
Yes,
he
I see
wearing?
what
There
jersey
you
he
go.
And then I'm wearing a black jersey. And, whatever.
Oh, now I'm sad.
But anyway, biggest surprise?
He just gets me.
And with all this black references, we're gonna get labeled racist. So stop. All right, let's go.
Stop it. Stop whining.
So biggest surprise is for me is definitely Edmonton. They've been playing very, very well up in front. Defensive has been average, but I gotta say, acquiring Mike Smith has done a number for that team. They're playing really well. I wish I had the numbers in front of me to tell you where they are exactly on the standings. Last I saw, they were 8-1-1. I'm sure it's not there anymore. Where they at? 9-4-1. Okay, even still, I expect them to be dead last in the division this year.
Who?
Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
And they're sitting at first. I mean, there's still a lot of time left, but they're sitting at first. They're playing great. They're actually getting support from guys other than Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid.
But any team that has those two, I mean, I could see a couple weeks worth of 19-point efforts here.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's stabilizes over the next 2 weeks or over the next month.
I mean, those two guys are going to get you 100 points apiece again.
Yes.
Again. They're your number one source of offense. But right now, they're getting depth from everybody. Everybody. They're rolling four lines really well.
Now, the only concern that I have for them is if they keep up this pace in the regular season, that's great for them, playoffs. And the reason why I say that is because their defense likes to give up 5 to 6 goals a game. That's my only concern with the team. Because, yes, during the regular season, you could do this comeback kid shit, but eventually, humans are humans. McDavid and Draisaitl may be machines to a point, but eventually they may get tired. And you're like, yeah, you can carry a team so far. But again, inexperience in the playoffs will come into play. You got to have strong defense play. You also got to have strong goaltending. It's my only concerns right now. And yes, Mike Smith's there. But it's still a concern because he he kind of underperformed against the Flames. It wasn't all his fault, but he did kind of underperform.
He did.
To an extent.
And I'm going to go off with something that Trevor said, and he said James Neal to the Oilers has been looking good so far. That's when we jump into special teams play.
Yes.
Their power play has been phenomenal since James Neal came over. James Neal has, 7 or 8 power play goals, maybe 10 or 12 power play points. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The guy had 4 goals last year, 5 goals last year. He's got more goals on the power play than he had total goals last year.
That's crazy.
That's been huge. It's been huge for Edmonton, and this is part of the reason why they're succeeding.
Well, who's he playing on the power play with? Is he playing with McDavid?
I think he's with Draisaitl. I think they split those two up.
It doesn't matter. Point is that the mark of great players is that they can elevate people's games. And I think that that's what's happening here with James Neal. He's getting his game elevated by playing with a really great player.
Okay, so let's backtrack off of your point there because I think you bring up a
Eight
very good point.
fucking power play goals. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was 7 or 8, but anyway, yeah.
I have Tourette's. Sorry, guys.
So let's backtrack on James Neal's career. We'll start in Pittsburgh.
Sure.
I'm sure he was somewhere else before Pittsburgh, but we'll start in Pittsburgh. He goes from Pittsburgh, where he was lights out with guys like Malkin and Crosby, goes to Nashville, where he's playing with some really good players as well there. And then he goes from Nashville to Las Vegas. Doesn't really play too bad there, but he doesn't play great. He's got some good players around him, but not great. Goes to Calgary, where he's got, again, good players, not great, but he's got good players around him. Guys like Johnny Gaudreau, Sean Monahan. Good players, but not great. The numbers are dwindling from Nashville to Vegas to Calgary. So you're thinking, all right, maybe this guy's done. Maybe he's lost it. Maybe he's out of his peak. Gets traded to Edmonton for Milan Lucic. Surrounded by 2 great players. Totally rejuvenated his career. So he's one of those guys. You got to put guys around him if you want to see him succeed and you want to see him put up points. Again, Draisaitl and McDavid are 2 of the best in the game. And look what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. For my biggest surprise, I'm going to say the Sabres.
Thanks, Trevor. Got me, Dallas.
I really hate to say that, too. Like, it pains me to say it, but the Sabres have been a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Because I did not expect this kind of play from them. I expected them to be okay. I wasn't saying they were going to be the drizzling shits like they've been in the past. They have a good team, but they've had a problem with gelling. They've had a problem with defense. They've had a problem with goaltending, and that's been their main problem, has been their goaltending issues. But they've come out in this season, and, man, they've put the Atlantic Division on notice to be like, hey, we're not going to try and fizzle out like we did last year.
I was going to say, they started out really well last year as well, and then wound up fizzling out.
They did, which was so pleasant. It's so sad that that's the highlight of my year for the Flyers, that after we beat them, they never got back above the Flyers. I was like, I don't know why. It just gave me so much pleasure to see those fuckers lose to us again.
Maddie did that from Moneyball.
Yes, I actually did. I'm not even going to lie. I am not going to lie. I totally did that. I was like, fucking A, fuck you, Sabres. You're never going to win a cup, you pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your pussy ass.
It was her elimination game. It's about 10 seconds. This is Maddie.
I was thinking in the back of my head, yes.
Took the whole 10 seconds, too,
Yeah,
and as the clock struck 0.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you and your stupid pussy-ass blue and yellow colors. You were better with that fucking black and red shit. You're pieces of trash. Fuck you. Fuck Buffalo. Siberia fucking sports. Anyway, it really is.
What was that, Frank?
We are at the 11 o'clock mark.
Okay, so we're going to
So
have
if
to
you
head
want,
to
if you want,
break.
if you want to take a break right now,
Now
that
is
would be a
the
good time to take a break.
Yeah. All right, so gentlemen, we will take our break. And when we return, me, Bri, Rob, and Frank, whenever he likes to chime in every once in a blue moon.
absolutely.
The OG motherfuckers are back, baby.
Yeah, and we will have plenty more coming your way. We will have an NHL live scoring update. Brian, would you be willing to?
I'm getting promoted.
Yeah, would you be willing to
Thanks,
take
Mikey.
that position?
Yes.
Good. I'm proud you accepted. There is no signing bonus, though. Just letting you know.
Fuck.
Oh, and also, I hate to say this, we had to make
Am
some
I taking a pay cut, too?
No, but we had some budgetary issues, and we had to cut your benefits. But just wanted to let you know that, though.
Happy
But
Halloween.
anyway, so with that being
Merry
said,
Christmas. Wait, wrong holiday.
it did come early though for you. And with that being said, we will join you guys back on the other side.
Merry New Year.
Christmas in July. But
Happy
anyway,
Kwanzaa.
Wait, it's October.
Just let me have it. God damn it. All right. Wouldn't let me have the fucking dream. Anyway.
Well, I mean, at least mine makes sense. Everybody's already got their Christmas decorations up.
That's true. They do skip over October after a while. But anyway, we got to go to break. So, on the other side, live scoring update from the now newly promoted benefitless Brian Daly on the other side. And Mr. Pove, me, and Bri will be bringing you a little bit of look of what the playoffs will look like if they started today. Why not? Because we're 10 games in. Why the fuck not? Let's have fun with it. That's on the other side. But first, talk to you guys about Gibson Mayor LLC, your certified public accounts located 301 Auction Valley Road in York, PA. You can give them a call 215-369-3300. Man, I will tell you something. Taxes suck ass, but you can always get the best return you could ever have in the whole world if you are ready and you are prepared and you call Gibson Mayor. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on a2dradio.com. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour right here on A2DRadio.com. We are live from the Real Talk Studios here in beautiful Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. A little rainy outside today. And
Seasonably warm.
Yes, and a little bit of that wind coming through. So,
I fought it.
yes, Rob.
It's a bit. It was very windy on the way down here.
Yes, Rob.
Yes.
Gotta be careful when you cut the cheese, my man.
Well, you said the wind. The wind was coming through. That's what I was talking about.
No, that's what I mean. Gotta be careful when you cut the cheese.
Oh,
Yeah,
correct.
It has unforeseen consequences for the trick or treaters.
Like that scene in The Nutty Professor. You remember which one I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we are brought.
That's my boy.
And we are brought to you by none other than Gibson Mayor LLC, your certified public accounts located 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Taxes, man. They're going to be here before you know it. Time's coming up.
About a couple months.
Be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayor. All right. So, we went through the Flyers.
Oh, no, what'd I do?
And what happened?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Frank,
Yep.
what the hell did you do?
I did nothing.
Oh, okay.
I got
Nothing but
Go about your business. Nothing to see here.
nothing to see here.
Nothing to see.
I may or may not have something to play for you.
Oh.
Don't-
Does that have something to do with this guy?
Yep.
This schmuck?
It
Okay.
is. All right.
Wait, what'd
let
you
me-
call me?
Schmuck.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard.
We're all from Jersey, so we're schmucks.
A duck
That's what
schmuck.
we are.
He's a duck schmuck. Woo!
Oh, I see what you did there.
Ha ha! All right, here we go.
I'd fucking smack him for that shit. I don't know how you do it nowadays.
No, we handle it outside after the show.
Yes.
It's all right. We've
Pull the
had it.
jersey over the head.
I don't want to embarrass him on the air.
Uh-huh.
The Rob Ray treatment.
Anyway.
All right. So we got a message from our friend Mr. Broda, who is at an undisclosed location. Yeah. So here's what he says.
Okay.
Oh, you know what would help if I actually unmuted my computer.
Yes, it would.
Silence says a lot.
Yes.
Silence is golden.
Silence is golden.
Scares me even more.
Hold on. Let me try it again.
Silent but
Take
deadly.
2. There we go. Let's try again. There he is.
Facebook message.
You just had to do it to me, didn't you, Brian? You just had to bring me back in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's my week off.
You just had
Can't
a
even
week off.
enjoy it. I cannot even enjoy it. Can't say I'm surprised. I really can't.
It is his third.
That would
month
make me a
vacation.
liar.
Seriously, it's like it's the one of the
Mr.
month.
Sensudi, good to see you. Brian, Mr. Pove, welcome back, sir. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the Pove and I go way back. Way further back than Mr. Daly. Daly, I kid, Mr. Daly. Quack, quack, Mr. Ducksworth, quack, quack. I'm joking. But while I have you, Mr. Daly requested this voice message. I will ask you a hockey question because it is a hockey show.
Okay.
From you gentlemen and from the lovely chat, if you would love to. Give me your biggest surprise from the NHL. One in a positive reason, one in a negative reason. Thank you.
And he also said something else, so I hope it's not instructions.
By the way, one last thing
Oh,
before
there
you
we go.
get to your answers. By the way, those answers are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. You can find them on the website, Specialized Physical Therapy. Boom, I'm doing great from vacation. Yes. Yes.
It's a miracle.
It's
What I
a
was going to
shameless
say.
plug.
Is
Wow.
that I hope Mr. Vespi, the fine producer tonight, accompanied these voice texts with a little music, a little calming music.
Oh.
Because Daly likes to stay calm, or maybe he needs to be calm. Daly, watch your freaking tone.
Frank fucked up there.
Oh, well, I didn't
Right.
get I didn't get the music part until
Just
the end
now.
of that.
It's
yeah.
all right, Frank.
Well,
Calm
this
down.
was the
It's all right.
instructions that I got. He says,
All right.
"Don't listen to these until you play it."
Oh, so Brodo fucked up. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
Yeah, you could have wrote in the chat there, "Hey, make sure you put music in the background."
Boy, haven't seen
Boy.
blame being passed around since the Trump administration. Anyway.
Oh!
so-
Wow.
All right.
Hi.
Wow. Oh my
With
God.
that, I
Pripyat,
think-
Ukraine.
With that, I think it is time that we transition into our live scoring update, Mr. Brian
Oh
Daly.
my
I like-
God. I'm the one that gets roasted every week.
You did not get roasted there, so be happy.
I just
Don't
did.
worry.
Not on my comment.
No, not
All
in your
right.
comment. No.
Here we go. We got an update. Let's
I'm
get
just
the
so
update.
I'm just so proud of my progeny here. Shameless plugs like Mick Foley. All you guys are great.
Rob is just in amazement right now.
Like a proud
And
papa.
Trevor
Proud
says,
papa over here. Proud
Hey,
papa
now.
pove.
Papa, hey.
Proud papa pove.
Yeah.
Papa Pove.
Big Papa Pove.
All right, we only got 2 games in I shouldn't say in progress. 2 games on the agenda tonight.
Oh.
We got the Flames and the Predators. It's the final in overtime. We kind of wish I kept this game on. Flames win by a final score of 6-5 in OT. And halfway through the game, it's the Canadians at the Golden Knights, and the Golden Knights are up 2-1 halfway through the game.
So are you hoping the Golden Knights lose?
Duh.
I mean,
Still a ton of time left. Goals scored for the Golden Knights are William Karlsson. No, there's a shocker.
hey, Knights.
And Alex Touch.
Knights, I don't ask a fucking thing from you. Win.
Okay.
That and also start Marc-Andre Fleury every time we play you. But anyway.
Goals
The
in
flower.
the
Yes.
goals in the Flames and Predators game. Nick Bonino, Austin Watson, Derek Ryan for Calgary. There's just a lot. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but some of the bigger names are Elias Lindholm scored. Austin Watson has a two-goal game. Matthew Tkachuk had a 2-goal game. Robbie Anderson had a goal for Calgary. And Kelly Yarncrow had a 2-goal game. So a lot of multiple points in this game.
Nice.
That's a Cuck family. I hear they're pretty good.
I can't.
I'm just going to do it.
Rob,
Oh, no.
How
The
good,
game
Rob?
froze. Oh, never mind. Okay.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Hashtag analysis.
You like the cut of the jib. I got you.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally. I got
Yes.
you.
but yeah, that's it. That's
Oh,
all going on.
okay, then. That was quick.
All right. So
All right.
that
Two
is
games.
your live scoring update by the one promoted Brian Daly.
Yay!
Hey.
Yay! It only get better as they go.
All right. So, gentlemen, I think it is time that, and actually to piggyback off of what Ryan was saying, we were kind of talking about that with our biggest surprises.
Yeah, did you know he was going to ask that when you asked that? Because great minds do think alike sometimes.
No.
I mean, I can agree that maybe Ryan has a great mind. Mine is just kind of like, whatever the fuck happens, happens. I just roll with it. I don't know.
Don't sell yourself short. You're a tremendous slouch.
Trevor Harris says, "What a dinger." Ryan Broder said, "No, I was testing you, Vespi. You got an A for effort."
Well, how was I supposed to know there was supposed to be music there?
Apparently, you're
really?
psychic.
Apparently.
I am not a
Apparently.
psychic.
You're not?
No.
Frank, how?
Because I was dropped the second time, my psychic powers were gone.
Damn.
I was dropped the first time. I got the powers. Dropped the
Yep.
second time. I turned them right off.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So what that means is if we dropped you from the top of this roof right now and you hit your head,
Yeah.
would you get those powers back?
No, I'd be dead.
No,
Ho!
his skull would probably pop like a grape.
Yeah.
What if you just hit the grass?
My skull will probably pop like a grape.
Did you say hit some grass? What?
I mean, I'd have to be high on that to throw Frank off of the top of this roof to see if he gets his powers back. But, there we go. So.
All right. So, biggest surprise in hockey: one positive, one negative. How are you supposed to be negative?
Negative.
Brodo.
I'm looking
He needs
through
a positive and a negative for the biggest surprise we have.
I've been scrolling through back and forth in these standings. It's like everybody's exactly where I would peg them to be at this point in the season and even further on. I mean, you could say, the Sharks should be down because they've lost a lot of pieces coming in there. So it's no surprising that they're one above the Kings 1 point ahead of the Kings, still in the single digits there, in the lowly, bottom depths of the Pacific Division. I mean, you could look at, you mentioned the Sabres as being a very good surprise. I mean, it's certainly a truth. I mean,
Some people would, and I know you and Mikey were giving me a little bit of a hard time about this when we were doing our season previews, was the Vancouver Canucks.
I wasn't giving you a hard time about Vancouver. I was giving you a hard time about Carolina.
Oh, well, either way.
Yeah, but you get my point. Go ahead. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I was wrong about another team. Go ahead.
But as far as Vancouver goes, maybe their special teams needs to be better. So there's your negative, you son of a bitch. but Vancouver's molding well. They're playing great together. Obviously, showing they're second place in the division, not far behind Edmonton. But I kind of expected this. They found their core group of players, and they're putting the necessary leaders around them, and they're just plugging pieces in where they need them, and bringing in guys like Tyler Myers, who hasn't had a really good couple seasons with Buffalo before he got traded, but he's off to a great start with Vancouver. And you have Elias Peterson, who's doing his thing, and Jack's brother Quinn Hughes is, he's starting to find his footing in the NHL, and they're just coming together. They're coming together.
I will say, and you're right, Vancouver has been doing very, very well. I expected Vancouver to be, rising up the standings because Vancouver had been building something out there for the last few seasons. When they were bad, you could tell that, okay, they were getting guys like Pettersson. They were getting a lot of these really young, talented kids. I'm like, okay, I see what Vancouver's doing. They're doing that slow burn, and they're going to be a really good team if they play their cards right in a few years. And I say slow burn in like 4 years, 5 years tops, where they're a cup contender. I'm not saying that they wouldn't make the playoffs during that time period, but I wouldn't say they were cup contenders until around that time. You know what I mean? That's what I would mean for the slow burn.
They keep going in the direction they're going. They're going to be a cup contender next year.
And if that's the case, man, hey, man, good on them. Winning their very first one. I'd actually be happy to see that, as long as it's not against the Flyers. But I'd be very, very happy to see them win their very first Stanley Cup.
Be a good story, though.
Would be.
Vigneault versus the whole team.
It would be a good story.
Yeah.
I definitely would not want it to play out that way.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Scary.
But if the Flyers did tack on to Vancouver losing in the Stanley Cup, I was like, ooh, cool. We got to kick a team while they were down. Nice. It's nice to actually be the one to kick a team for a change. But anyway, go ahead.
I might be butchering his name, and in case you don't know me, I butcher names. It's what I do. But they got that kid, Boser?
Besser.
Right?
Brock Besser.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I know he's phenomenal on the breakaway, on odd man rushes or whatnot. Good goal scorer. I'm not privy to his stats this season, but you're to your point, they have been building up. I thought it might have maybe been 1 or 2 more seasons away, but we're seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, to your point about Brock Besser, he's got tremendous skill, tremendous speed.
And
He's going to be the future of that franchise.
And what's his name in net is what's the name of their goalie?
Markstrom. I can't think of his first name. His last name Markstrom. I know that.
But he's showing that, like, oh, okay, maybe he could possibly be a starter in the NHL. We'll see. But
I think they're platooning their goalies, though.
But still, though, they're having good play from them and good production from them. So I was like, all right, maybe they might find their starter in there.
Yeah, man, they're getting good overall production.
Yeah.
It's been
Jacob Markstrom.
That's
there
it.
we go.
It's been, but like, don't get me wrong. I like to puff my chest every once in a while, like everybody else. Like, it's good being right about them. And I hope I'm wrong. Just being a Pacific Division fan, and I hope they kind of collapse. But
who knows?
See what happens.
Who knows? But they're not Buffalo, so.
No,
anyway.
they're not. But I mean, like I said, they got a really good core group of guys. They've been a very pleasant surprise.
Gotcha. So, I would say this for my disappointment, Bobrovsky. I think he's been quite a disappointment because, and here's the thing. Yes, he was coming to a new team, but he's a vet. He doesn't have the right to fall back on. He's a Vezina Trophy winner, by the way. So he doesn't have the right to say, like, new team, new system, like, you're one of the better goalies in the league. It's like, that should not matter. Like, you're a goalie that is capable of stealing wins for your team. You could shut teams down. We've seen you do it in Columbus. We've seen you do it in Philly. He did it a few times in Philly. He stole games that we did not deserve to win. Point is like, you have a proven track record. What's going on? Is there too much sun? Too many hot chicks that you're not paying attention to hockey? I want to fucking know. What's going on with you, man? Because that's disappointing, the way that his season has begun with Florida.
I'm not necessarily going to place all the blame on Bob. That defense is a little bit shakier in Florida than playing in Columbus. Obviously, we know Columbus is a very good defensive team.
Well, granted, I'll give you that one.
I mean, he could be getting left out to dry. He could be just not playing well, not squaring up shooters like we're seeing from Carter Hart. Or
But-
it could be in any number of things.
But that's the thing, though.
A system shouldn't matter to a goaltender.
But that's my point. That's the other thing, too. It's like defense-wise and everything. It's like, but here's the thing. He is Vezina Trophy winning goaltender. It shouldn't matter. And I say this now because sometimes you need to rely on that goalie to bail you out when your defense is shitty. You know what I mean? For us, we can't say that we would be relying on Hart at this moment because, again, he's still progressing and developing at this moment. This is his first full year. Whereas if it was Elliott and it was a mistake made by the defense, it's like, okay, we're kind of expecting you to bail us out when the defense fucks up, because you're a veteran. Like, you should be anticipating fuck-ups. You should be anticipating fuck-ups, especially knowing the fact of the team that you're coming to. Bobrovsky should have known the team he was coming to. It's like, yeah, that defense has been shaky. It's one of their biggest Achilles heels for this squad. It's the only really Achilles heel that you can pull out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, to me, it's like I can't make excuses for Bob. He should be playing better than he is, in my opinion.
Might be onto something there. Maybe he comes in with these grandiose expectations. Obviously going to put pressure already. Then you're coming into a weaker defensive system. I got to overcompensate now. I got to make every save spectacularly. Often I've seen a goaltender press too hard and get poor results. Now, mind you, we're talking about the same time frame that we were just defending Carter Hart.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be turned around at this point. But Carter Hart's a second-year goaltender. Bob's a lot more seasoned than that.
Yeah, that's why I would put him as a disappointment right now.
Mm-hmm.
That could change in a heartbeat. He could go on and make Florida one of the better teams in the Atlantic Division, and they still very much have their ability to do that. I still expect Florida to wholeheartedly have third place in the division by the end of the year.
I just wanted to say that in case there was someone out there to be like, oh, okay, it's okay to hold these standards for Bob and not your boy Carter Hart. That's being biased. No, there's a big difference. You know,
there's different. There's more expectation on Bob. Yes, there's expectation on Hart, but there's also that lingering back of your heads like he's still a young goalie. Whereas Bob, you've been around the league long enough, man.
Right.
You've won a Vezina Trophy. It's like you should know how this shit goes.
Right.
So that's just my disappointment at the beginning of the season. Bri, on to you. Who has been your disappointment, whether it's a player or a team?
I really don't know. I mean, all the teams are kind of like right around where I expect them to be, like Rob was saying. Maybe San Jose. As a whole. Dallas could be all right. Yeah, there we go.
I would say Dallas. Yeah.
Dallas will be my disappointment because we know the offense that they have.
Oh yeah.
Defensively, still a little shaky. Ben Bishop playing as well as he can in front of the defense. Defense has left him hanging quite a few times. He's had to make some spectacular saves, which he's had. Let in a bunch of soft goals. Seeing Joe Pavelski there, he's not really doing what I thought he would. But then again, it is still really early. So as of right now, it's the 5-8-1 Dallas Stars is my disappointment.
That's a good pick. I like that pick because that's a team that you would have thought would have been a little bit stronger coming out of the gate, but they were whiffing.
I will say this. It was very nice to see Corey Perry score his first goal as a Star.
That's weird to hear that from you. It is.
Well, it was against the Flyers, too, which was – I got to see it, so.
Shut up. All right, move on.
It was a pretty backhand goal, too.
Shut up. Rob.
Against Carter Hart.
Shut up.
Blasted.
He's an old fart. He ain't going to be in the league much longer. Go ahead, Rob.
She's my age.
Old fart. All right, go on.
Well, what does that make you?
Ancient.
No, actually, he is like a wine.
Prehistoric.
He's like a wine.
No, Rob is a wine.
Dirty grandpa.
I love it.
Okay, Rob. Give your disappointment for this season.
I got a pair of players. I'll stick. I was saying that was sticking more Flyers concentric since that's what I've been watching mostly. Shane Gostisbehere. He's just
All right, yeah.
continues to miss the net with regularity. Getting beat, making poor decisions on when to pinch and when to not. Just not getting back on defensive assignments. I'm almost to a point where I'm like, maybe you should turn this guy into a winger. I said that actually last season. I really thought that, with the new coaching staff, what a great training camp. He had a great training camp, and it didn't come into the season with him, unfortunately. I mean, minus maybe the first couple games. overseas, he looked great. Maybe something to consider career path wise. And I even hate the bus on him because he's my boy, and I don't want to be a turncoat. But I really hope that he can. He doesn't have to be the number one. He doesn't even have to be number two. Just be a solid mid-level defender on this team that hits the net with your shots. That's all I ask.
And I will agree on this before Brian gives his point. I agree with you. I have defended Gus Spare on multiple occasions, but I've let it slide. I've consistently let it slide. I am not doing that anymore. There's no more letting it slide for Gus Spare. He has to perform now. We've had him long enough. He is not a young. He is correct myself. He is a young player, but it's like.
He's been in the league long enough.
You've been in the league long enough.
It's past the heart threshold.
Yes.
Is what we're talking about if we want to put a name to it.
Yeah, and that's ultimately where I'm saying, okay, you're not getting any more breaks from me. It's like I have let you go because you've been young and developing. That is done. Kid gloves are coming off. If you continue to fuck up, we're going to start calling you out for it. It's like, Ghost, I want to love you. I really do. I want to keep saying Ghost, a Philadelphia Flyer. It starts to get to the point where you start to justify the trade rumors in the offseason of sending his ass somewhere else, And that's bad for me to say. I don't want to have to say that with validity.
I want to continue texting the Ghost and the Bear. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Absolutely. But when you're keeping a guy like Samuel Moran as a healthy scratch, now granted, he looked terrible against the Islanders. Horrible, so slow. So maybe I've overestimated Sam Moran. I just love big defensemen. I like defensemen like I like my women, big bodied. You know what I mean?
He did just get sent down today.
He did get sent down to the Phantoms.
So did Mike Alvarobia.
I think it's probably better though, so he gets regular playing time. You can't keep on keeping him a healthy scratch.
Jumping back to Ghost real quick before we go back to where Rob was talking about
a full-figured woman.
Yep.
Top bottom girls, right? They make the world go round.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Go ahead, bro.
So as far as people saying Ghost shots missing the net, my question for you guys is he actually shooting for the net or is he shooting for deflections?
It's not even that. I've seen Gus Despair try to cheat too much, and I've seen him allow rushes go the other way, and I don't like that. It's like I will call Jake out any day of the week. I will call Jake Voracek out when he turns the puck over because he loves to do it, because he tries to make that fancy pass. He leaves it right in the slot. It's going right up the middle.
Either that or he holds on to the puck a little too long.
And I've called Jake out on that on multiple occasions where that's bullshit. You shouldn't be doing that. But same thing with Ghost. I feel like he's cheating too much. And yes, I get it. Ghost does have a bit of a nose for the net. He is a little bit more on the offensive side. But it's like, okay, if it's not working and you're not hitting the net, maybe you are trying to shoot for a pass, which is what your shot's mainly for, being a redirect or a tip. And I see where you're going with that. But here's my thing. At the end of the day, you're a D-man. At the end of the day. And if you cheat up too much and you leave your defensive partner back there and you let the guy you're supposed to have, your man, cheat past you and you cause a turnover, or because you cheated and yes, a turnover happened and it wasn't your fault, but you're not in your position. And therefore, the puck's going the other way with an odd man rush and an opportunity to score. And that is the one thing that I have the biggest critique on Goss Despair the most is he's cheating too much. And it's almost like just simplify it. Be in your position. Just focus on the defensive element of the puck. If it's not going into the net for you, just focus on the defense. Fundamentals. Just get the fundamentals right. And I won't have a problem with you. Like you were saying, be a solid defensive man in this team, and there ain't no problems. But the problem is that he is cheating too much, and he's causing odd man rushes.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm calling him out on.
I couldn't agree with you more. And to your question, there have been a few that where you could tell because they're more towards the corner boards, getting that deflection on the 45. Right. A lot of them are going right over the crossbar by a couple inches. Right. Now, you can say, well, that's just a skilled shot that went awry. But when it's I'd say I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but 75, 80% of the time, you're not hitting pad for a rebound. You got to get it more on that. And what's sad is in the first couple games we saw him, peppering the net, and then it just went away again, So hopefully he finds his game, plenty of time for that. Hopefully Phil Kessel finds his game too. I'd say that's one guy I'm familiar with, league round. It does have 2 goals on the young season, but just really hasn't made that impact where the Coyotes gave up some good players to the Penguins to bring in Phil Kessel. I don't think he's lived up. I think he's been a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because Phil is the kind of guy that you could really rally a team around because he's always got that nose for the net, and he's such a great goal scorer. Hence why the Penguins went and got him from Toronto to put their team over the edge because, let's be honest, when that HBK line was going, it was the most devastating line in hockey during that time. It really was.
Hated that line.
Yeah, I trust me. You thought you hated it.
Hagelin.
Believe me, we fucking hated it big time.
Hagelin,
Yeah.
Bonino, and Kessel.
Oh God, man, I hated that line. But I will say that's a good pick if that's your pick for disappointment, along with Gostisbehere. I would say that's a good pick right there for around the league wise on disappointment. I would say that's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Gostisbehere goes, I think all he really needs to do is instead of trying to shoot high, keep it low.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
You don't have to overdo it. You don't have to put a lot in the shot, but make it accurate. Let it go off of a skate, player, stick, something. Just put it on net.
Like I was saying, simplify the game. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a Bobby Orr. You just don't have to be making beautiful shots almost on the daily. You don't have to be.
Take a little bit off.
See what I did there? But anyway, yeah.
I did see what you did there.
But anyway, my point is that you don't have to be that guy. Just simplify your game, shoot it into the pads, allow for a juicy rebound to sit right there in the front, and allow one of the guys on the Flyers to cherry pick a goal to victory. Let Nolan Patrick get a nice little quick goal where he's just sitting right there in front of the net. He's like, oh, hi, that's a puck. I'm just going to shoot that right on by you. Thank you.
I know you boys didn't like him, and this team is better off that they don't have him now, and I will say that. But one thing he did very well, that's Ratko Gudas, was get the puck on the net because he kept it right along the ice.
I will say,
maybe occasional wrist shot, but mostly right along the ice.
He didn't put a ton back into the shot. He
Right.
put enough into it that it's going to go, but it's going to stay accurate. It's going to deflect off of somebody, because somebody's going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was always on net.
Yeah, and that's a credit to Gudas, and that was a good point on your part, Rob. He knew what his role was. He was a simple stay-at-home D-man. He was not trying to cheat to score. He was not trying to – he would aid the offense when it was necessary, but he was never that type of player. He was never cheating because he was the stay-at-home one, because he was the bigger one out of the defensive partners he usually was with.
I will say this, though. I was at the game where he got knocked out by Kevin BX in one punch, and I loved every second of it. I was at that game when he got Superman punched, and it was awesome.
Was that against the Flyers?
No, it was Anaheim against the Flyers, yeah.
Fuck you. But anyway.
Great. I loved it. I'm like, ha-ha.
By the way, he did get he got penalized in his first game with Washington, and guess who wound up getting scored on the power play off of his penalty? Washington.
Nice.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
I was about to
But
say,
anyway.
some things never change.
Yeah, but anyway, point is that with all that being said, those are disappointments. Those are surprises, and I'm sure we'll have plenty more as the season goes along. First half is still very young. We haven't even hit January yet. The All-Star break hasn't even been talked about yet. So I will say there's plenty more hockey to play. So no panic, no nothing. Still so much to go. And even for the disappointments, still a lot more hockey left to play. So, gentlemen, before we sail this one off into the abyss forever, let us
I don't want to go into the abyss.
– all right, the void.
I prefer the Phantom Zone.
Sure, I'll give you that one. I will give you that one. Well played.
I'm more of a Twilight Zone person.
Nope.
As soon as I heard the mic going on, man, I knew you were going to say that. That's perfect. It was right on the tip of my tongue, too.
We are not doing the Twilight Zone. It is the Phantom Zone. You want to know why? Because of the fucking Lehigh Valley Phantoms.
That's right.
That's why.
There you go.
Because those motherfuckers are kicking ass.
So
we're going with that one.
So if we go into the Phantom Zone and we go one step below, do we go into the Royal Zone?
I don't know. Hard to say.
I don't think anybody's ever gotten that far.
I know. And if you did, that meant you weren't going any higher. But anyway, so on to the standings right here, where we'll take a look at what the playoffs would look like if they started today. to close out our show. So to get started off with the Metropolitan Division, Washington would be in. Carolina would be in. The New York Islanders would be in.
None of those three surprised me.
For the Atlantic Division, Boston, Buffalo, and Florida.
Buffalo surprises me a bit.
And the 2 wild card teams would be the Pittsburgh Penguins, of course, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. That would be the Eastern Conference. In the West, Colorado in the Central, leading the way. Nashville, St. Louis. Followed up in the Pacific, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Las Vegas.
I'd like to say, one of those losses came from Anaheim. I think.
For what?
Colorado.
Oh.
I think set up now.
And in the wild card,
Did we
the
do that?
Anaheim Ducks
Yeah.
and the Calgary Flames. That
Did we
is
beat
what the
Colorado?
playoff picture would look like today if the playoffs started.
Yeah, we did beat Colorado, and then we got spanked
So-
the next night.
Congratulations, congratulations, Brian. 10 games in and you made it.
Yay! Let's see where we are in another month or two.
Yeah. We'll see when we get 20 games in. But anyway, so with that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. Rob, back full time here on the Hockey Happy
Definitely
Hour.
glad to have you back, brother.
Cannot wait. We are on a new journey with the 3 men that started it all.
Thank you very much.
And then we have the Darkwing, Brian Daly, in for yet another torture session.
As always.
I, Matt Sassuti, here for another night of thrills, if you will.
It's definitely something.
Yeah. Maybe a shot of adrenaline. But anyway, and
Penicillin. Wait, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Bringing in the righty already? Lefty already?
are you
Just get my veins ready for after the show. Let's go.
all right? We all know
Don't
that
do drugs, kids.
come on. We all know that we partake in the NHL's greatest pastime, cocaine.
That's right.
But anyway, and behind the
And
board,
Bitcoin.
yeah, and Bitcoin. I'll stop shaking your head, Brian. You see the dust on your nose? You can't hide that. Anyway,
That's gray hair.
Sure, totally.
Sure, Jan.
Yeah. Anyway, and behind the board, stepping in for the sign guy, Mr. Ryan Brodo, his tag team partner,
Yes.
Mr. Frank Vespi. Thank you for joining us for this evening.
You're
Who I
welcome.
sure will sub in for Brodo when he goes on his 450,000th vacation of the
Yes.
year. Thank you all for joining us for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. We are brought to you by Gibson Mayor LLC, your certified public accounts located 301 Oxford Valley Road in your PA. Give them a call 215-369-3300. Be ready. Be prepared for tax season. Call Gibson Mayor. Next week, we may come to you a little earlier. Don't worry. You'll see it when we see it. That'll be next week on a2dradio.com. Till then, see you guys next time. Happy Halloween.